Good afternoon, dears. I'm so glad to give research-oriented session about implementing corpus-based activity to ESP students. I'm going to share my own experience with my ESP students. Today's presenters are Pulatova Durdona, CELTA holder, EFL and ESP teacher at Tashkent State Pedagogical University named after Nizami, and my partner is Dilafruz Sulaimanova, EFL teacher at Uzbekistan State World Language University. In this session, I will give brief information about corpus linguistics, and then I will share corpus-based activities which I used while conducting my research, and experiments and methods which I used in my research. So, most learners and teachers in Uzbekistan used to ask me this question: what's corpus? Corpus is a large, principled collection of naturally occurring examples of language stored electronically. While explaining what the corpus is, learners and colleagues understood that corpus is a dictionary. No, the corpus is a database of written and oral speech. And what about corpus linguistics? What is corpus linguistics? Corpus linguistics approaches the study of language in use through corpora. Corpora is a plural form of corpus. It means this linguistics is a kind of approach that learns language by using corpora. Why did I use corpora in my research? Because most of my learners at university asked me several questions. In order to find answers to these questions, I used corpora, because corpora could help me answer my students' questions, such as what are the most frequent words and phrases in a language? What's the difference between spoken and unwritten texts? What tenses do language users employ most frequently? What prepositions follow particular verbs? How do language users employ words that many have multiple meanings, like a can, make, and might? How many words must a language learner know to participate in everyday conversation? How many different words can successful language speakers generally use in their conversation? Corpora helped me to answer to these questions. What is corpus approach? Actually, this approach is empirical and analyzes actual patterns of language use in natural text. Text can be oral or spoken or written. This approach utilizes a large, principled collection of natural texts as a basis for analysis, makes extensive use of computers for analysis. Besides, it depends on both quantitative and qualitative analytical techniques. What about Corpus-designed activity, or CDA? CTA have their roots in data-driven learning, which was developed by Tim Jones at the University of Birmingham, England. In DDL, students serve as language detectives. They induct and detect the language themselves. They discover facts and uses about language. Corpus-designed activities engage students in 3 I's. First I is illustration. In this illustration, students look at real data. In second I is interaction. In interaction, students discuss and share their own opinions and observations. Third I is induction. In the induction, they make their own rules for particular linguistic features. CDA or DDL are very empowering for learners. As the students are discovering language themselves, they start to enjoy as opposed to having it presented to them from text or by teacher. In this approach, the teacher is a facilitator. Now, I will explain how can we make corpus-based activities. If teachers are very creative, they can even create tasks, grammar exercises, vocabulary exercises according to their students' levels and needs. How did I create corpus-based activities? First, I used 2 corpora. I searched concordance lines. Now, I will explain what are concordance lines. Concordance lines are instances of word or phrase called note in corpora with surrounding text. They are the most basic way to process corpus information. Examining concordance lines can show the meaning and behavior of lexical items, pragmatic meanings of given phrases, and lexical grammatical patterns. Now I will explain and then share my findings after conducting my research. And what about the design of my research? I used the usage of make by giving them grammar and speaking activities. As I mentioned above, I used 2 meanings of make, such as create and then first. And what about concordance lines? I took concordance lines from 2 different corpora. The first for corpus is Michigan Corpus of Academic Spoken English. Second one was Longman Written American Corpus. Why did I use 2 different corpora? As I mentioned above, corpus is a database of written and spoken text. In order to analyze the meaning of make, I used 2 different types of corpora. According to my research, first of all, I conducted a training to my colleagues at my department. According to my training, this training included 4 sections. First, I gave brief information about corpus and corpus linguistics. I explained the instruction step by step, and I shared the information and materials to conduct the research. And I explained my research, the aim of my research, to them. What kind of examples did they use? As I mentioned above, I took concordance lines from Michigan and a long one from 2 different corpora. First, I chose 15 lines from 2 different corpora as a meaning of great. I chose 15 concordance lines from 2 different corpora for the first meaning of make. To acquaint ESP students participant with the use of corpus-based activities, they were provided with 4-page handouts that discussing the following. The first one, visual inspection of concordance line to get first meaning of make and how to make with other parts of speech. Second, they have to examine second page concordance lines to identify second meaning of it and get familiarized with grammar rules of make. Third one, they have to do exercises of identifying which sentence has got first meaning of make, such as great, and second meaning of make, such as urge, and make a sentence using acquired grammar rules by corpus-based activities. To acquaint ESP learners with different meaning of make, 2 corpus-based activities were given to training of instructors and students. The questionnaire was created to elicit participant perception of using DDL activities in English and their reaction toward DDL. This activity is based on 2 meanings of make. On this activity, the students should have analyzed the first meaning and the second meaning of make, and then they have to tick that which sentence comes as the first meaning, which sentence comes as the second meaning. On the next exercise, they had to make a sentence with the meaning, first meaning of make and then second meaning of make. Last exercise was based on speaking activity. They had to write a sentence about each picture using the patterns they had learned and read their sentence to their partner and to their teacher. As I mentioned above, I conducted this research to Tashkent State Pedagogical University students. The amount of my students was 150 participants, and then my partner conducted this research with 20 students at Uzbekistan State World Language University. The students, after analyzing data, the levels of my students were different. Some of them are beginner level, some of them intermediate level, some of them higher intermediate, and then some of them were advanced level. And what about their majors? Their majors were history students, pure pedagogical psychology, and then psychology students are students, primary education students. What about the instructor participant who helped me to conduct this research? They were 14 team participants who have different year experience, like 5, 10, or 14. First of all, I trained my colleagues to help me to conduct this research. And then I shared the information and the materials with them. After conducting this research, they filled questionnaires. Students filled students' questionnaires, and my colleague filled instructor questionnaires. My data was based on qualitative and quantitative. After conducting and analyzing my research, the finding is following. From the research and study, teachers can assume students are ready and eager to embrace corpus-driving activities, although they may appreciate them more alongside traditional activities. What about my findings of this experiment? I found out that all the students who participated in my research agreed that they really enjoyed corpus-driving activities. They learned a lot from corpus-driving activities. They even wanted to do corpus-driving activities again in each lesson. Corpus-driving activities could help them learn English effectively and easily and remember the meaning of the words. And this activity really helped them how to use the verb correctly. Although they still agree overall, students don't feel as strongly that corpus-driving activities are more useful than regular activities. You can see that I will share the reference with you. Thanks a lot to listen my speech about my experiment at my university. If you have any questions, feel free to ask to address my contacts. Thank you very much.